One last Thursday. We had three in a row here, which is really incredible here to end the August. But we had one last Thursday at the Historical Society, and I always love going there because they have such great displays. So it was nice to be able to do that one. But yeah, we have two coming up here. One this Thursday over on the lawn at First Commonwealth Bank, so right outside the old courthouse, and they always do a phenomenal job. We always get a great turnout. They bring in great food and entertainment. I know there's a third Thursday going on that evening as well, but I encourage everybody. I don't think that starts till after 6. So come over for the business after hours at First Commonwealth Bank, and I know people will enjoy that. And then head over to third Thursday and just take in the town on Thursday evening. And then the following week we're going to be with GCES. So I don't want to spoil all the surprises Clinton has. I think he's coming in later this week.
Yeah, he'll be here.
But if you know Clinton and you know GCES, they don't do anything small.
That's true.
So I can promise you that's going to be a very fun one, and he's got some pretty cool stuff happening with that company, and it's going to be exciting. I think he'll probably tell you more about that later this week, but that'll be another after hours the following Thursday. So yeah, it's great to have the networking events, and the summer they kind of take a little bit of time off because people are so busy, but they're really ramping up here, and I know we have more coming up in September and October. I think we have 2 or 3 already scheduled for those 2 months, so it's going to be really busy. And if you're looking for networking events, and we got a slew of other events coming up too that are going to be big.
On Thursday, as you're at First Commonwealth Bank, are you going to look longingly across the street and say, "One day soon"?
I do that every time I drive past, but it's coming along. I mean, I keep getting updates almost on a weekly basis, just on where things are with that project, and I can't wait. It's so exciting. Some of the things that we've already gotten, getting ready in there, and we're going to have our new Hall of Fame wall that's going to be displayed in there now once that is constructed. So it's a lot of things are happening with that building, and we cannot wait. And once it's opened, we're going to throw a big after hours type party with the Tourist Bureau in downtown Indiana, invite the public in to take a look at what we got there. But we can't wait. It's going to be a great building. I think it's going to be a great asset for Indiana County. And I think I've said this before, but the timing is just perfect in terms of what's happening there and what's happening with the rest of the county. So we're kind of a lot of good things going on right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes you know that these things are coming, and you want to be settled in, but at the same time, the excitement of debuts and all of those wonderful things.
Well, it's the move itself. So I mean, it's as much excitement as there is about being in the new building. It's tempered a little bit by the fact that we still have to move everything from our current building into that new building, and that ain't going to be a lot of fun. So but we're excited about being in there, and I think that the promise of what that building can hold for everybody is really pretty exciting.
You've got some other really big events coming up as well.
Yeah. This one's may hold even more impact, but our Eggs and Issues event's coming up on September the 5th, which is a Friday, the first Friday in September. Normally that's a great event anyways, and that's with Senator Pittman, Representative Struzzi, and Representative Smith, so the 3 state legislators that represent Indiana County. And it's at the Hilton Garden Inn at 8:30. Breakfast will be served. And it's a great event because I always feel like those 3 individuals in particular are very candid with the people that are in attendance. So we people can ask questions in advance, and we do live stream it. It's questions@indianacountychamber.com. You can email us, but we get a lot of questions from the people in attendance. And it's funny, I say it every year, how open I think that those guys are, with everybody. Yeah. Like I always feel like they're going to dance around some of the answers, but they really don't. They're really pretty straightforward, and there's a lot of good things to talk about. But as we continue moving on with what's happening in Harrisburg, there may be even more impact on the Eggs and Issues if you really want to know what's going on with the state budget. I'm not sure if it's going to get done by September the 5th.
Yeah, do we even have one by then?
So I'm sure that will be a topic one way or the other coming September 5th. But that's a great event, and we want to thank Comcast and PA American Water. They're helping to sponsor that event for us. If you can get your tickets right now by going to IndianaCountyChamber.com. Again, Hilton Garden Inn, so we're a little bit limited in terms of seating there, but in terms of how many people we can hold. But get your tickets now, because I think even if the state budget gets passed here, we have so many things going on in Indiana County that those three gentlemen have an impact on, and I'm sure there are going to be a lot of topics that are going to come up about some of the good things happening in the county, and maybe some things that people don't know about yet.
Yeah, yeah. So those are pretty exciting things. You also do have a Hall of Fame coming up, don't
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, we've been going around. I've been going around the past couple of weeks, visiting the inductees and or the ones who are no longer with us, visiting their family members and just getting some information, getting stuff ready for the video tributes that we put together for them. And they're such great stories, and they're all so impactful, and how much I'm learning about some of these individuals, and it's great when you see some of the great things happening in Indiana County now, and then hearing the stories of individuals that helped to shape our business community in the past. There's a lot of tie-ins there too, Todd, and it's kind of neat when you read about that. But we have some great people that are getting inducted, and we have Pete Stewart, the former auctioneer, and learning about some of the success that he had in his long career. I think over 7 decades being an auctioneer.
Amazing.
Did his final auction at age 99. But then with our living inductees, we have Ben Bruns, who owns Benjamin's and owns a number of other restaurants, and Bob Walbeck from Walbeck Insurance down in Homer City, a family-owned business, and Elizabeth Gregg with Environmental Service Labs, Ellen Ruddick, who's our chairman selection, and Ellen's we could do 2 video tributes on Ellen with everything that she has going on.
Yeah, you could.
And then John McCormick, which is he's fascinating when you learn about him and some of the things that he's done with the Hercules turbine, and some of the things that he has done as a musician as well. So it's really interesting learning about these individuals, and John, interestingly enough, is also one of the descendants of John. Part of his family is Senator Dave McCormick.
Mm-hmm.
So and I believe that he may be trying to come up for the event as well,
Wow.
which will be nice. So it's going to be a great evening, and that's September the 18th at the Indiana Country Club. Tickets are already selling for that really well. So, I think that one could be a sellout this year with some of the interest that we have right now. So, that'll be a Thursday night, but that's our Hall of Fame coming up. And, it's a busy couple of months, but, I would just say the Hall of Fame is one of my favorite events of the year. And I think this year, even if you're not familiar with all the inductees, they all have such tremendous stories. And I think that if you go there, you're going to walk away feeling, maybe empowered a little bit if you're a business leader right now, and learning some things about some of the individuals who helped, shape our county in the past, and some of the lessons that maybe they can pass on to all of us right now. So it's exciting.
Yeah, some really cool stuff is about to happen here in Indiana County, and people can be a part of it. The IUP 150th anniversary, the big carnival they have coming up this weekend, but the opening of the academic year at IUP this week is a really exciting thing. I know Chamber is very, very much excited to welcome students back to town, the commerce that they bring with them, but just the idea that it really points out how much of a university community we are, and how much that university is a part of the whole economic picture here in Indiana County.
And I think it's going to continue to be a big part of it in the future with a lot of the things that they're doing. But yeah, I love seeing the students back. I think that, like you said, they help to provide, part-time workforce. They help to provide an economic impact, especially around the downtown area. You're already seeing them at some of the establishments throughout Oakland Avenue, whether you go to Walmart or a lot of the restaurants, between Walmart and campus, but they're making an impact already. And it's great to see them here. And, I think there's a lot of things that we can still do with IUP. And I mean, meaning the county and the downtown Indiana. There's some talks with the 8th Street corridor here, and some of the things that they're working on with the borough and with downtown Indiana. We have a Talent Walk, which is kind of a student discount program coming up later this week, and that's something that we work with the IEP to help promote. So there's a lot of things that we are currently doing. I think there's some more potential there, though, too, to get students more involved, especially when you see some things like Homer City and what's happening there. I think there are ways, not just IEP, but in Westmoreland County Community College. I think there are ways to get some of these other schools involved, and maybe start getting some some of the workforce ready for what's about to happen down there.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, Homer City redevelopment, we only have a couple of moments left here with Mark Hilliard, Chamber of Commerce. But, you hear about the big project, and I think part of the story that gets lost is the coming of Homer City redevelopment and that entire campus area is going to really energize a lot of smaller businesses and bring in smaller businesses, moms and pops, as they used to be called, a mom and pop store. Those sorts of things, they're just going to be a great beneficiary of all of the business that will be coming to Indiana County.
We are, yeah, you're absolutely right. We have been starting to try to put together, and we want to do this with some of our partners with the Center for Economic Operations and also CareerLink. But we've been talking about trying to put together sort of an event. I don't want to call it a workshop, but an event for businesses throughout the county about Homer City, about that project. And really what we want to focus on is, as a business owner, what can you expect? What kind of impact can you expect for yourself from what's going to happen there? How can you prepare for it? And most importantly, how can you best take advantage of what's going to happen there? So what do you have to do to get your business ready to make sure that, what happens in Homer City can impact you in a positive way? And there's a lot of things and a lot of questions that we're still learning about, as a group, and we're going to try to get as much info as we can. But we want to share that with the business owners, so please keep an eye out as we start to advertise that probably in the fall, and try to put something together for the business owners to kind of let them know what to expect and how they can really take advantage. Because, Todd, I think it can be a huge positive impact for everybody. But we all do need to know what's coming, how it's going to impact us, and what we can do to get ready for it.
Absolutely. Very good. He's Mark Hilliard, Indiana County Chamber of Commerce. Thanks.
Thanks, Todd.
We appreciate it. It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS, 101.1 FM, AM 1160, WCCSradio.com.